Parents, you may have heard that there's been a lot of changes to SAT and ACT test taking, but how will this impact students in applying for college? Courtney's standing by with more.
You know, anytime I think about college admission counseling, I think about Phil Moreno. He's joining us this morning via Zoom. Hi, Phil.
Good day, Courtney.
Good to see you. There's been so many changes dealing with standardized testing, specifically SAT, ACT. You know, the beginning of the pandemic, they paused it, which made sense. But now it looks like that's going to be maybe a permanent thing for CSU and University of California.
Yeah, I know you have a student going to be looking here, and so you're keeping track of all this. And, you know, for most folks who haven't been keeping track, most of the changes have been from the colleges side.
Sure.
A lot of colleges, about 75% this year, are test optional, meaning students get to choose if they submit scores. Like you alluded to, Cal State University, the UC system have all announced that they're going to be test-free, meaning they won't consider scores. And now the big changes is coming from the College Board itself, the company that administers the SAT, announcing a couple of weeks ago that they are moving to a digital test. So no longer those 3-hour proctored exams. This test is going to be completely digital. It will roll out to international students in 2023 and then here in the U.S. in 2024.
So then what is going to be the trickle down? Because if schools are not necessarily using them, or, you know, some schools might, but if students are applying to schools that are not using them, should they still take the SAT and the ACT?
Right, and you allude to that idea of should, and the most common answer to any admissions question is going to be it depends. And this is really going to be back to the student. You're really going to start seeing the use of standardized testing as a consumer product, the way it always should have been. Does your family feel that by taking this new SAT, the ACT, will it add value to your application to let colleges know that you really are capable of doing the work at their institution? And so I'm elated about this change. You know, Dickinson has been test optional, the place that I work for, since 1994. We're test free now currently. And I think this really puts the power back into the hands of students and families who get to choose whether or not they want to submit those test scores.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about the test scores themselves, because obviously it's used as a tool to kind of filter, right? Because you've got a lot of amazing students who want to go get these educations. So how does it behoove the student then to kind of weigh their options when they're looking at different schools? Should they go to a school that prefers not testing?
Right, and I love this deep dive here. So, I mean, the reality of testing has always been, like you said, in the beginning, it was a way to filter. And this was years ago when colleges were, you know, much more excess of students going to college. They really had to limit who was going to be able to go to college. And now we're in this situation where most institutions are able to look at the context of the grades that students are earning, meaning we're able to tell John Kennedy High School from, you know, an institution like Jesuit. We're able to do that deep dive. So really what this means is students get to take the test first, don't report it to anyone, and then decide, does this score make sense for me to submit in addition to what I'm already submitting?
Oh, that was valuable. Good stuff. All right. Well, as always, Phil, you have such a wealth of knowledge. How can folks find you?
You can find me at Philip@Deason on both Instagram and on Twitter, and of course at the Western Association for College Admissions Counseling, WACAC.org.
All right. We'll link all that to our website, gooddaysacramento.com, under show info and today's date. Phil, thank you so much for your time. Have a fantastic week.
You too. Thank you.
All right. T, back over to you.
All right. Thank you.